So,
You're starting sixth form.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here from yours truly, Gwiglet, your one-stop shop for all things books, beards and beyond. But before we get started on today's video on A-Level and my best advice for A-Level students, be sure to like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and hit that bell icon for more updates from Gwiglet. Also, don't forget the Gwiglet guarantee. If you have any questions, drop them in a comment below and I will answer every single one I receive. Thank you very much. So today, my video covers A-Level and my 3 top tips for all A-Level students. Whether you're just about to start your A-Levels or you're halfway through them now looking towards university, I have some key pieces of advice I'd like to share with you all today. Now, my experience of sixth form and A-Level, I've been a sixth form tutor. In my 10 plus years of teaching, I've taught numerous students at A-Level English and A-Level Politics. I've helped countless numbers of students with their EPQ projects, help them on their way to university with their UCAS applications. And if I can offer any advice, my advice boils down to 3 specific points that I think any student looking at sixth form or in sixth form should really pay attention to. Now, they're kind of tailored towards my experiences, so they're kind of tailored towards English literature in today's examples, but in essence, it relates to any subject. So my first tip above all else is be prepared. Be prepared for a lot of things. A-Level was a real jump up from GCSE, but it's one you quite quickly acclimatise to over the course of your 2 years of study. For example, you will have a number of study periods now where you would have had lesson upon lesson. You will be given independent learning tasks. You will be given work to do over a longer period of time. You will be given ownership of your learning in a way that is far less hand-holdy than it was at GCSE. Now, don't get me wrong, this is something that takes time to acclimatise and adjust to. In my own personal experience, how long? 17 years ago now. I struggled with that. It took me at least a half term just to get to grips, acclimatise, get used to what was expected of me. My first English literature mark back was a grade E, and I was a student that just got an A star at GCSE, so I was shocked, felt I'd fallen. But what it really comes down to is the fact that I needed to spend more time in those study periods, reading up, checking through the feedback, looking at what my teachers have asked me to do. Your teacher won't necessarily catch up on you in the way that they would have done when you were doing a GCSEs. So it's important to be prepared for that real change. Give yourself that first half term, acclimatise, adjust, any questions you may have, you're asking your teachers, and be prepared for the fact that, you know, in that regard, your teachers may be teaching at the time you want to speak to them, whereas previously you'd only have gone at lunchtimes and break times because you never had those study periods. And be clear in your communication with your teachers and you can do nothing but thrive. Now, my second piece of advice for you all today is be enthusiastic about what it is you are selecting to study at A-Level. Take it from me, there is no point, there is no purpose taking any subjects where even the smallest bit of you doesn't enjoy it, because there is a lot to cover now. There is a lot more. If I take English literature, for example, granted it's only a couple of novels, but you've got to know them back to front, chapter by chapter. You've got to take ownership of that. And it's hard to take ownership of that when it's something you don't even feel the slightest bit of enthusiasm for. You have to do what you enjoy, because that is half the battle, really. And that carries so much of it. I found my true love of reading and literature and English in my A-Level lessons. I soared. I would personally say my A-Levels were my happiest time of education. Be enthusiastic about the subjects you're doing, because they will be harder, they will be more challenging. But if you're enthusiastic about them, it will take you further. And finally, my third piece of advice that I would have is to be disciplined in yourself. You will get further, you will enjoy the courses more, and you will enjoy the overall experience of sixth form more if you're listening to the feedback and acting on the feedback of your teachers, if you are using your study periods to the maximum of your advantage, if you are working as hard as you can, but balancing your kind of work-life balance in that regard. Sixth form is great because it gives you a lot of freedom. A-Levels in general give you a lot of freedoms you didn't ordinarily have. They're great in one regard, but they can be a threat. In having that free time, a lot of students will go, well, what do I do with that? How do I manage that? And I've seen it over the years. Some students struggle to manage that free time. Be disciplined with yourself. understand what your timetable looks like, where you can strategize your time, how you can strategize your workload, so you can avoid feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, and feeling anxious. So long as you remember that and understand that this is a longer journey, A-level is a much longer journey, but a much more rewarding and enjoyable journey, you will soar. Don't forget though, the Gwiglet guarantee. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll happily answer them. And I hope that's given you an insight into what A-level is like in terms of how to study, or given some advice to any current A-level students. But for now, thank you as always for dropping by. Take care, all the very best, and bye-bye.